Okay, there we go.
I want to talk about deep, dark attacks that are done on us. This is a bit difficult at the moment because I'm getting affected and attacked while I'm trying to talk, because I've had another attack on me as Riki and I were walking home before. Some of us have come in to this earth to do very, very deep work and to bring a lot of source energy, love energy down onto the planet. And some of us come in as very powerful souls who have done a lot of work and a lot of, I want to say training, I'm not quite sure about that, but we know a lot to bring onto this planet. We know a lot, and we can channel deep, deep love onto this planet. And at the moment, I'm not going to sound in the most loving of places because I've got a warrior aspect with me at the moment that's pretty pissed off, because I'm realising how systematic the rape attack that I went through was when I was 16. And at the moment, I'm feeling a little bit pissed off. You know, I'm not going to kick off loads on it because I know that's what other energies want. But I need to have my own level of defiance against the bastards that did this to me.
Your throat.
Yeah, I mean, like when I was talking to you on the bed before, I could feel them holding my fucking neck back.
Yeah.
You know, like this is stuff
you were being
within
strangled.
my system. You know, they merged energy with me when I was violated. It's like these energies are gutless, and they know at times when there's a beautiful soul that comes onto this planet, that comes on with the intention of channeling deep unconditional love and bringing that deep love and compassion, which is what I do. It's what I'm here to do. And that's not an I'm special. It's just I love deeply. I love everything. I even love these bastards that did this shit to me. You know, I love extremely deeply. In my truth. I mean, at the moment I'm feeling a bit pissed off. Forget the fly, fuck the fly, I don't give a shit about the fly. You know, it's the fact, like, it's realising, we have to realise this at times, because I'm putting this message out to the other ones like me who have gone through this. And this goes out to my good friend in Canada as well. Like, I'm not going to name you, darling, because I know at times it's hard for you if I do that. But I want you to know that this was systematic attacks on you because of the light and the beauty and the deep, deep, deep love that you bring. Which is why the animals know it and the children know it. And you know who I'm talking to, darling, right? I talk to you on that one. If I carry on talking to everybody else now. But they do systematic, strong attacks against us. Like when I was raped, I was 16 and I was a virgin. And I was just coming into my power again. You know, I'd had a lot of deep conditioning through childhood to be suppressed, to button me down, to shut me up, to squash me in every way, to stop me being able to energetically process emotions, because that's another thing I'm meant to do. I'm meant to be a very clear channel to take emotions, you know, and yes, like the dark, horrible, shitty stuff as well. I should be able to take that, move it through and down and out, because I'm here to be a channel conduit between Mother Earth energy and Source energy, and I'm being shut up around my throat as I say this, and they can fuck off. That's what they can do.
Most people are being suppressed to a big degree on this planet.
And it's also, it's not just me, I'm not saying I'm special on this. We are all conduits between Source energy and Mother Earth energy. We came to Mother Earth's call with this because she was being under siege, and it's like I lived that out in a physical form at 16. Like when I was violated and raped, I was drugged. You know, they couldn't even take me on as the being and the truth I am. They had to drug me to do that. They had to violate me through a man that was 11 years older than me while I was drugged. They had to vaginally rape me, anally rape me, possibly orally, I'm not sure, because so much of that attack is still repressed. But I know at that time they worked on me in every way to absolutely blast me and rip me apart. You know, my energy body is still really badly affected by this. I have not, like, that attack happened when I'm 16. I'm 44 in about a week's time.
Oh, it's terrible
And
what
they
it's done,
knocked me
you know.
totally out of my life for about 17 years until I met this beautiful man who's holding the camera at the moment. And I was dissociated, I was depersonalised, derealised for all that time. You know, I couldn't have any kind of body connection. And in the 10 years that Riki and I have been together, we've tried to help each other. You know, I've tried to help him heal with trauma as well. It's like my throat is really badly affected with this. You know, I can feel it. I can feel where, you know, because it wasn't just the violations. I came very, very close to death through respiratory failure, I think from the drug or from him strangling or smothering me during the attack. So it's like they took me to the edge in every way they could to break me. And I was with him for about 9 hours. And every strand of the attack was overwhelming on my system, and they know to break us to that degree. You know, that is the thing, they break us to that degree. And when all that dark energy floods your system when you're being violated, we take on so much vile, toxic energy.
Venom is the word as well.
Yeah, venom.
That's
It's hatred. You know, we literally take on so much hatred that is channeling through whatever man is used to rape us. You know, it's not the human. Like, the guy who did that to me had been released from prison a week before that happened. He was a drug user. He'd probably been abused and raped during his life himself. He was a cracked and broken shell that could be used to channel anything. You know, but I know from flashbacks and feelings from the trauma that when I was violated like that, so much energy came into my system and my soul had to back out. You know, I couldn't stay in my body, especially with being drugged, you know. And this has happened to so many of us, and so many of us that are here to do beautiful work on this planet. And when that's happened, there's so much vile, foul energy comes into our system that we don't know who we are anymore. You know, we can't remember ourselves. We can't remember our truth, who we are, what we're here to do, because we were so flooded. And, you know, I need to do a lot. I need to do a lot of different videos about this. I mean, this probably won't be out on a lot of the rape stuff because it's probably too intense. But, you know, this has happened to us for a reason. It's happened to us because we are powerful and beautiful souls. And they've done it deliberately because they're bastards and they want control on this planet. And they don't want the love vibration here again. They want control. It's about control.
They're very afraid of us as well, because we love each other.
Yeah.
I keep seeing, I mean, you're not going to see anything on the camera and that, but I'm seeing black, like someone with a black sort of cape thing. The face is grey. But I've seen these sort of things before. This is a definite dark entity.
I mean, I feel them. I feel them inside me. I feel the other energies that came into my system. I feel them look through my eyes. I feel them manipulate.
But the discernment to be able to actually see what energy is affecting you, like we've, due to eating clean, you know, and not eating the stuff that these energies are addicted to, you know, like what I'm trying to say is that normally you can't see stuff that's going on that's astral because we're caught in the normal senses and we can't see it.
Most people are numbing out, you know, especially if you've gone through any kind of similar attack to me. You've probably used drugs to numb out, food to numb out, sex for some people to numb out.
But this is the general thing, that people are so numbed out that we don't realise that there's actually an issue on this planet now, like the forest being cut down, you know, or some of us do, but it's in the back of our mind, you know, and like the importance of what's actually going on, because a numbed out human can't sense the truth of what's...
It's not our truth that's numbing out. It's because of the conditioning that we've had from children. We've been conditioned to be junkies. You know, every child virtually, unless the parents are aware, will have been brought up eating food, eating additives, eating all sorts of stuff that takes them out of their grace and makes them forget their truth.
It's worrying, really, because I know that this stuff is actually serious that's going on, and there's different levels of awareness, and, you know, there's one where everything's all right, you know, but just because everything is actually all right and that, you know, spiritually everything's all right, it doesn't mean that there isn't a big mission to do on this earth that's very important. And that's where I feel the urgency comes from in me. It isn't like an urgency as in, oh God, they're doing this stuff on the planet, it's all really bad and da. It is bad, but it's like we need to be honest about this stuff that's going on and be clear.
We need to understand as well that the energies who are controlling things on this planet are doing stuff to us in the here and now. You know, it's very easy for me to believe at times that everything I feel is because of my trauma, because of being terrorised, because of being threatened to be killed when I was with him. You know, and all of that is obviously deep. You know, it's a very, very, very deep wound. And in the 10 years that we've been trying to heal, I've had to learn to respect deep trauma, because it really does cut right through you and it fragments you deeply, and that was intended. But we have to understand as well, for those of us who've been through these kind of attacks, that energy got in to our systems. So a lot of things that you feel, a lot of things that you think will not be coming from yourself, and will not actually be coming from the trauma memory itself. It is actually a fundamental attack here and now by the energies that got into our system.
Yeah,
and if I'm a bit emphatic on this, it's partly because, like, I need to really take this in myself as well, because in the 10 years that we've been healing, we've gone backwards and forwards between thinking everything is spirit, or everything is the trauma, you know, it's all my own stuff, so I've got to deal through it, or it's all tell you that, beings. So. But it's like we've got to understand the strands with this stuff now, because those of us who've been through these attacks, we were fractured. So yes, we have got our own shit that we need to deal with, you know, like I've had to try and deal with rage. I deal with terrifying, demobilising fear at regular times, but it's also, as well as our own stuff, there are fundamental attacks happening on us in the here and now. And some of the times, some of the fears that we're feeling isn't actually our own fear. And trying to develop the discernment to know what is our own at those times, what is channeling at those times. Because we took this energy into us, it's very easy to be these other energies if you're not careful. I mean, I'm quite lucky, really, in that I am a very loving being. You know, I could have been an absolute bitch and horrible person after what I went through because of the toxicity of the energy that came into my system.
It's not you.
No.
Like, people viewing will see how actually innocent you are, and they think, well, how could you be feeling like you've got something at your throat? You just look pure and beautiful. And that's what I'm seeing. But, like, when you can actually see what's actually there,
he'll see me more,
see it.
You know. And I get that at times as well, you know, like I see the overshadowing that's coming. I don't think they're going to pick me up on that. I see the overshadowing over Riki as well, like, because obviously we've been close and intimate, the energies that affected me have then affected him at times. So it's like it can go between people as well, because whenever there is a sexual union, you know, like, energies merge. That is what it is. That's why people do need to be careful about who you choose to sleep with. You know, and obviously for those of us who've been raped, we didn't get that choice. And if it's somebody who is raping, it's somebody who's severely damaged, and probably somebody who's carrying not good energies.
They hover around like flies around people whose energy is low, you know.
People who they can use. That's know
why
that they can use.
I think we can help people out of these low places and rise higher, you know.
I mean, we've had to do a lot of work together, like with our eating, to try and clear, like, every kind of addiction. You know, like at one point when I was working in London, you know, when I was under a hell of a lot of pressure, I was using like alcohol, cigarettes, food, caffeine to a big degree. I was using at least like 4 different substances to cope with life, you know. And
it's a sign of a soul loss.
Yeah.
You know, it's a sign that your soul, you're trying to fill the void of a soul that is, you know, in pain, whatever, you know.
Yeah. But I needed to say, you know, like a lot of people who may be listening to this, you probably are using things or using drugs or using whatever to cope, and it's important not to shame yourself on that. I feel like I really want to say that, because when these kind of attacks have happened, they are severe. These energies have done systematic, brutal attacks on us. You know,
through
I was
the
aware
ages
before that they know to hit hard and fast and brutally when they get their opportunity. So for me, that was when he managed to drug me. They knew that they had a certain amount of time to cause as much damage as they possibly could, and they did. When I have flashbacks, I still have, you know, I have a lot of body pain for the physical things that were done to me, as well as emotional and mental torture. And they know to shatter us. But the important thing I want to stress with this video is, if you've had this happen, they've done it to you because you are a very beautiful, pure and powerful soul who has come here to bring a lot of love onto the planet. And I hope and pray that realising that to any degree will help give you the strength to start taking your power back again. And I know how hard it is. You know, and obviously I'm not speaking for everybody's personal experiences, but I know personally how hard it is, because when I'm hit with another attack, like the fear that I will feel through my system is profound. And I'm very aware, you know, I'm aware that this is going on. I'm aware of a lot of what's happened to me, although a massive chunk of what actually took place in my attack is still repressed. But they're using those things. They're using what we've been through, for all of us.
And let me just check the time. This is the understanding that we've had. You know, we're aware that this isn't just us. I mean, Katie's got an extreme example, and the things I've been through have affected me and allowed them in that. But it's like we're gonna have to start doing videos to show that this is a systematic on humanity. That every human is being held in fear, held in control. You know, and it's really.
Yeah, sorry, I just need to say on that as well, like, it's really important for us to understand too that they want us blaming each other. They want us angry at each other. They want us hating whichever unfortunate, screwed up human being was used to attack us. It wasn't the human. It wasn't the human. It wasn't the human soul that attacked us. It was other energy working through a damaged person. And that isn't to say that it doesn't matter what that person did, but
we've got to see the bigger picture. There's a bigger picture going on this earth, and it's like we've known we need to wake up and get it. And it's like it's like being in the Matrix, you know, fall back asleep, and then you're like, oh yeah, that was it. Oh yeah, you know, we're here to help the planet. You know, we're here to help people, and then so you go back to sleep. And it's like just trying to get it through. Humanity's not in the right state at the moment. Basically, we are not functioning from our spirit.
We've been systematically dumbed down and really screwed up with the foods and the drinks that we're ingesting, and the drugs, of course, because so many people are taking drugs of one form or another. But there was something I just had again that I really need to say. It is understanding, it isn't this, but it is really understanding that this is a systematic attack on us, you know, and we need to support each other. We need to stand strong.
Unite,
we need to
definitely.
help focus on the truth and the beauty and the heart in each of us and all of us. You know, while we all blame each other and shame each other, and
we're just playing the same game.
Yeah, it's not what we are. That was what it was. It's like those of us who have gone through these attacks, as I say, it's usually because we are very true and beautiful and pure souls, and we are channeling pure unconditional love at different times, but we also have a warrior aspect, and these things haven't been understood properly.
Yeah, we need to know.
You know, like, we do need to understand that the warrior aspect is needed, because these energies that got into our systems, you know, they're expressing being bastards. You know, they are not nice. These are really,
and we
really
don't want
not
to.
nice
We
energies.
don't want to admit it. We do not. Like, you know, even me. Like, this is why this is being so hard. We, on this earth, we are not understanding this, and we don't want it to be true.
And we don't want it as well, because, like, a lot of us have come from a place that was pure unconditional love. So it's hard enough coming into Earth's vibrations anyway. You know, it's so hard because we are gentle and beautiful souls.
Like even people we've talked to, you know, who are waking up, they're fighting it, you know, and it's like people that they're having to like belittle like me and Katie at times, you know, and it's like, you know, because they feel uncomfortable with what we're saying, like, oh, well, they're being too negative, or we're being a victim, or we're being whatever, you know, and it's like, I'm realising we've got to just speak our truth and just keep saying this anyway, you know. Because
I do think we need to do it. You know,
it's
whether
not about
people think we're
fear-mongering.
bloody stupid or nutters or whatever.
But this is the thing, these are the lies, you know, these are the lies. Like, we're on the earth plane, we're kind of living in a hall of illusions at the moment. We do have a connection to our spirit, but who is actually living their spirit day to day and feeling totally aligned and totally on purpose and able to not be distracted and not be, you know, and just be totally in the zone of being alive and happy all the time, you know? Nobody is. The day I see that is proof that, like, you know, we're really reaching a higher level here. So until that time, I see we're in a hall of illusions, and we do need to start being more open-minded to other people's...
It's acknowledging what's the earth. You know, there is a lot about, like, just being positive. And again, like with everything else, there is truth and there is corruption in that. Because while
so
people are not acknowledging what is happening on the earth and are not acknowledging the stuff that's affecting themselves, you know, like, while we're all ignoring bits of our own pain or bits of our own anger, and we're doing the I'm positive all the time, or I'm floating on the cloud all the time thing, you know, especially when people are using drugs or smoking or whatever to try and stay in that state, we're not doing the work that we came here to do. We came here to clear these vibrations. We came to raise the whole vibration on the planet. You know, we came to do these things. And yes, it's very nice at times to have a drink or to do something that takes you out of the density on this planet, but we came to do this work. We came to do it.
And most people I know are being sabotaged big time.
And I know that it's hard, you know, I really do, because at times I still kick and scream against this stuff. At times it annoys me that, like, I'm having to try and clear so much shit that isn't my own. But I came to do this. And a lot of us must have come to do this. Maybe not, you know, I'm not saying that we agreed to being raped and violated and having these terrible things done to us, because I don't particularly think
there's
it's like
other
that.
lies. There's been lies put in to do with that.
But I feel that we came here to bring a lot of deep loving energy onto the planet and to clear as much of the pain, the shame, the darkness, the evil.
Yeah, and some of us are really feeling that now, aren't we? You know, some people are really feeling that they want this change and that.
But I need to reiterate about the warrior thing again, because it needs us to be strong. We do need to be strong, partly to defy the energies that are still controlling us from within, because while we're still being made small by fears, while we're still not being able to just step out there and speak our truth, while we're not being able to dance freely, while we're not being able to sing freely, while we're being held back in any way, while we're feeling tightness at our throats, which I intrinsically feel at times when I'm trying to speak my truth. I feel something trying to throttle me.
This does happen. A lot of people get this and they won't notice it. I've had this for years, and there's certain people that you'll be around and you'll feel like you can't speak.
Yeah, because the amount of controlling them is affecting you as well.
There's energies around those people that do not want you to help them out of their whatever they're stuck in, you know. So this is it's very deep what's going on here.
The braver we can all get to actually let ourselves see this stuff, the less power it has over us. You know, it's not easy putting out a video that's saying about spirit interference, about control from other forces.
It's not easy for a reason.
Because we're going to be, you know, like it invites ridicule and all of this. But if people are not willing to look at these things and say these things, we all just stay in a delusional state where nothing changes and where we are all just being controlled. And the braver we can get to see these things and face these things and face and heal our own traumas, because I still struggle with this on a daily basis. I still get triggered, I still get flashbacks, but I know part of it is because I have unresolved trauma that still needs healing, but a big part of it is because I'm still being attacked by these energies day in, day out, because I'm challenging things. I'm trying to heal, I'm trying to grow, and I'm trying to clean my system of all the energy that it took in that attack. And these energies don't want that. When they violate us, it's like they just want us like a fleshy glove for them to work through. And a lot of the time we're not even aware of it when we're knocked so deeply out of our life and so deeply in shock.
And shock and dissociate.
That is like a really big thing. When these attacks happen to us, the shock is profound on every level of our being. There is physical shock to the body, there is mental shock, there is emotional shock, and there is spiritual soul shock. And it is profound. It is very deep when this sort of thing happens to you. And having a lot of compassion for ourselves is important, and understanding that it fractures the psyche, and we have to bring love and compassion and be a witness for those different aspects of ourselves that went through those attacks. But it's also very, very important, and I really want to stress this, that a lot of the control on the planet would have you believe that everything is your own, that it's all your own feelings. And I want to stress, from the best of my knowledge, that a lot of the time it isn't only all your own feelings. It's like if you were a mirror that was broken, there's going to be a lot of shards of glass in there that aren't actually from you, that have been thrown into the mix while you're in
That's
chaos
how it's easy to confuse
and confusion. And the confusion is a very big thing, because if you've gone through something like this, you go into shock, and then you don't know properly what aspects are you anymore, because your life got broken so deeply. When these things happen, they can introduce all sorts of other energies. Spirit light, yeah. And it's, sorry, when he says spirit light, sometimes we get like affirmation, like we get it backed up, like sometimes.
The reason we sound serious is because it is serious stuff. I mean, and that's the thing I'm realising now. I'm learning to stand up and say, actually, I'm alright being the way I am, because we have a deep message to bring. I know a lot of people are bringing different aspects of this, but we're starting to go, you know, bugger it to the fears and all that, because this has to cut it out there. Like, I mean, just before we started making this video, I'd got triggered again while we were walking back, and I was realising again that this is being done to me. You know, I've had the trauma, but a lot of us who are suffering with PTSD, sometimes those triggers are being done to us. You know, these energies are triggering that fear again. Triggering our worst fears. They feed off it. They feed off our pain. They feed off our emotions, and they use it to keep us stuck and stop us clearing our systems and clearing these traumas properly. So as I was saying, the reason I'm more full on this video than I normally am, and that is because I was just realising again how severe my own attack was, how orchestrated it was. And I was realising too that often when these attacks happen, there really is there's a lot of dark shit going on. And I don't mean that to fearmonger, because the more we bring this stuff to the light, to be afraid of, really, the less the fear can hold us, and the more we can all step back into our power. You know, I've been very aware at times that when that physical attack was happening to me on the third dimension, on the earth level, there was stuff going on in the astral plane. You know, there was dark rituals going on. It's ritualistic, yeah. And that sounds all a bit cosmic, I know, and I've kicked against this stuff as well. But
experiences that I've had. Like I can't fight against these things anymore. You know, I need to be able to say these things were done deliberately. They deliberately did this.
There is definitely a group of entities or beings who are keeping humanity in their little boxes, and you are not, you know, their feeling is like you are not leaving your box. You know,
you will not bring your power and your talent and your gifts onto this earth.
The stuff we felt from the energies is like we run the show, you know, and we see it for other people. You know, it's nothing. This is, you know, we're only probably more aware of it because of what we've been through, and we've had a need to heal and grow, and need to cleanse our system.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, we've really cleansed the food for a long time now. You know, we've taken away a lot of the numbing and the addictive substances. And so many
people just laugh at that as well. You know, oh, you know, the food, whatever.
Like chill out and eat a load of cheese. Or...
Yeah, and it's like there's no understanding that like we need to eat sacred foods from Mother Earth, and even some of them aren't as good for us. But anyway, in general, we need harmonic energy in our body system, which is a protection in itself, which brings in the soul of our true spirit, you know. And when we're eating all this manufactured stuff that is all non-harmonic, we're just aligning with that darker place, you know. And it's not about
it's the agendas on the earth, you know. Most people are aware to some degree that things aren't right, you know, that they didn't come into this life to just work 9 till 5 in a job that means nothing to them. You know, a lot of people know deep down that they're meant to be an artist or a musician or a dancer or a therapist or, you know, like whatever else. You know, most people know that what they're doing on a day-to-day basis isn't their soul calling. And why is that?
And
why is it that so few people are actually doing what is their true soul calling? And if nothing else, just question that.
And you try and fight against it, because, you know, I've been trying, and it's like I'm watching myself every day and I'm going, you know, God, this is like, you know, you'd think it would be a lot easier to...
When people truly embody their soul, it is the most beautiful thing on this planet, because when somebody can step into that, they're shining with everything. You know, they have like, it's like the awe of the child who first like sees the tree or sees the flowers, you know.
A very
it's like,
natural thing.
When they're doing it, they light up. And how often are we seeing people in that state, really? You know, like on our day-to-day level, how often are we seeing people that are truly embodying that beauty and that light and that,
I know.
You know.
When you go to KFC and you get loads of sugar and Coca-Cola down you, that kind of does it.
And all the salt and all the dead animal vibrations. But that's the thing, you know, like most people are walking around like quite ill, quite ground down. You know, I mean, I know I look haggard to hell, and that is because of what is going on in my system.
But you don't, like on the video, you look really pure.
Well, it depends. People will see different things depending on what they've got going on.
Yeah, true.
You know, that's the thing that we need to understand as well. Like where we're vibrating at, how we're feeling affects how we view everything. You need to check the time again.
I don't know.
Bollocks.